Hey guys, my name is Joel Nario, and today we're going to be talking about asthma and how it relates to public health. So, what is asthma and why is it important to public health? Well, for starters, asthma, in short, is a respiratory illness. It's chronic. It's a health condition that is very common. And as you guys could see on the picture over here, on the very left, that is what a normal airway looks like. As you guys could see, there's a lot of space. And on the very right picture, you guys could see that the airway is now swelled up and that is filled with mucus, which makes it very hard for the asthmatic to breathe and inhale. And it's just not a very good feeling. Asthma affects approximately 300 million people worldwide, and it is predicted to increase by 50% every decade. That is very concerning. And in the US, out of 1 out of 12 people, or 25 million people, is affected with asthma or diagnosed with asthma. So it's very common here. And the reason why it's important to public health is because, it not only affects the individuals who have asthma, but it also affects everyone around them and also the economy in the United States. I mean, there was a study done that gathered data, and they what they realized is that those people who have asthma who took off time from work and from school, they realized that because they took off time from work and school, that the economy lost about $3 billion, which is a lot of money. And some symptoms of asthma, obviously the most common one is coughing. Coughing, there's wheezing, which is a it's when the person inhales, but they also produce that high pitched sound. And there's chest tightness and difficulty breathing. And as we saw earlier, the picture, it every time the airway swells up, it feels like as if your lungs are getting crushed or getting choked. It's very hard to breathe. And yeah, some epidemiology about asthma. Um, there was a study done, and they concluded that asthma is actually more common and more relevant in females. They scored about 43.5 points compared to the males who scored 38. And in regards to race and ethnicity, non-Hispanic African Americans had the highest numbers compared to Caucasians, which they scored 41.6, and Hispanics who only scored 38.8. So there's some preventions. There's a lot of preventions to an asthma attack. Um, One is avoiding triggers, of avoiding smoky areas. There's a lot of people who gets triggered by smoke. It's good that in public health they reinforce a smoking area, so everyone could be safe, especially avoiding secondhand smoke. Believe it or not, pets can also trigger um, asthma because of their fur, such as dogs, cats. But I also know that there are some dogs who are hypoallergenic and they won't necessarily trigger asthma. And dust and molds. Um, Also, it is highly, highly, highly recommended to have a regular checkups with your physician yearly. And a very, very interesting prevention is breastfeeding. And there was a study done that they concluded that breastfeeding can actually prevent early childhood wheezing, which is just fascinating to learn. And